push me. You show the lights that stop me, turn to stone. You shine me when I'm in.
Here's RG3, he's going to run for the first down, and still on his feet. RG3 is going to outrace everybody.
Take that back, make that 2 new shoes on the van floor. Me and my band out on that road, on another back down from the stands tour. Yeah, touch my souls in the dance.
What if I told you that the Washington Redskins symbol, a symbol you see every weekend on TV or in commercials, is not as innocent as it may appear, but instead derogatory towards a certain group and what their culture stands for? Besides the symbol, the actual word redskin may not trigger any hatred or racial slurs to the general public, including ourselves, but after taking this class, my partner and I have learned that the Redskins' name would be the same as if they called the team the Washington Chinks, Blacks, or Beaners. Take your pick.
Obvious. A lot of people think it's a very offensive term, and it is. And a lot of people think it has to go. But many of the people who defend the name don't seem to understand what the word truly means. Look it up in any dictionary. The term is identified as offensive slang. As D.C. Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton told The Hill, nobody would let a comparable name to blacks stand.
The persistence of racial illusions of Redskins are the result of false belief. The logo symbolizes the Native American culture alongside American development. It also stands for the so-called helping and Americanizing the Native American culture. In doing so, it has caused us to mourn the passing or transformation of the so-called Indians, that us Americans have caused them to disappear. In other words, imperialistic nostalgia. This justifies the reason why we can use Native American and not Asian, Black, or Mexican portrayals, because their history is supposedly our adopted history. By missing the Indianness that once was, society depicted Native Americans in many aspects throughout American culture, especially in sports. The team originated in Boston, Massachusetts under the name of Boston Braves, but when moving to Washington in 1937, they changed the name to the Washington Redskins. The team's co-owner, George Preston Marshall, changed the name to Redskins to honor the head coach William Henry Lone Star Dietz, who claimed to be part Sioux. To this day, his identity is still controversial. The Boston Herald on July 6, 1933, reported that supposedly change was made to avoid confusion with the Braves baseball team and the team that is coached by an Indian with several Indian players. Throughout the team's lifespan, they have managed to rack up 5 NFL championships, including 2 pre-mergers and 3 Super Bowl championships, which is average compared to other teams such as Dallas, with at least 5 Super Bowl wins, not including other achievements. So then why has this logo not changed since 1937, and others have, for example the Peoria Chiefs baseball team, which changed their meaning to firefighters, and Syracuse Chiefs to relate to railroads? What are the factors that differ between the Redskins and other logos to keep the Redskins logo alive? At the end of the day, it's all about them Benjamins.
It's going to take pressure from consumers. It's going to take an act of Congress and the courts, blah, 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 to change the name. Ain't going to happen, I don't think. Team owner Dan Snyder has made it clear he's not going to budge. Snyder is worth an estimated $1 billion. He's not used to being told what the heck to do with his franchise, his team, or his business. He's more interested in the money than getting with the time.
Over the years, there has been an uproar of profits through merchandise and stands third in the rankings of net profit to Dallas Cowboys and New England Patriots, according to Forbes. This is the main reason why it is nearly impossible to disregard the Redskins logo. As of today, the franchise of the Redskins is estimated at $1.6 billion. Since the organization won't change, why hasn't the general population, in particular the Native Americans, rise above the racism that is being portrayed by the Redskins symbol?
Said if a sizable group is offended, the last poll of all Native Americans, the only one ever taken by the Annenberg Institute in 2004, had 9 out of 10 Native Americans not offended by the name. But in April 2013, the Associated Press said 8 out of 9 Americans are not offended. According to President Obama's own criteria, sizable group, the name should not be changed.
Really? So 9 out of 10 Native Americans don't care about changing the symbol. But in reality, 566 federally recognized tribes have asked Obama's help to forcefully ban the symbol from the NFL. Another attempt to remove symbols of Indians in general was the Non-Disparagement of Native Americans of Persons or People in Trademark Registration Act, which permits any future trademarks to be used. So why go through the troubles of changing an innocent symbol like the Redskins logo? Because it's anything but innocent. The symbol stands for the Native American hardships that whites have caused to their people and culture. From the first footsteps of Columbus to now, there has been a 90% decrease in the Indian population. In addition to that, there has been a denial of coevalness from whites to Native Americans, which is the inability to be accepted as people because they were denied the ability to evolve like us. As a result, this has made them noble savages, as though they have accepted their fate. So by putting a stereotyped Indian on a helmet honoring a Native American, or derogatory towards their way of life? Is the Redskins symbol innocent like Disney symbols, or does it stand for something much darker than that? As a former NFL lineman, Jim Warner, said, Redskin is not the term of the Native American skin color, but rather the scalping of a Native American head.